Hello everyone, welcome back to the another video in Python series. So in this video, we are going to talk about how by using a Python module, how we can connect to the SQLite database. And in fact, similar way we can connect to any other database by using a different Python module. So right now we don't have any existing database setup. So we have one file database, we call it as a SQLite. Okay, so we are going to see how we can connect to the SQLite database and then how we can interact with it, or how we can create the table, how we can insert the data into that database, how we can fetch it, and how we can go through that data. Okay, so that's what we are going to do in this particular video. So to connect or to create a file database and then to interact with it, Python provides one module called as a SQLite. Okay, so and the latest version we have is SQLite 3. Okay, so we use SQLite module for that. So first thing that we have to do is we have to create a connection with that particular object. So how to do that? So we have to use SQLite 3 dot connect. And then this is a file database. So we have to provide a file database name. So let's say mydb.db. Okay, let's say I'm giving the name. So as soon as we execute, this will create one file, and then from here on, whatever table we are going to create or the data that we are going to insert, that will be stored into this particular file. Okay, but again, database, the way it gets stored in this file, it's a little different. So for that, we need to create a cursor object, okay, which understand how to write and read the data from the database. Okay, so how to create a cursor object? So we do use like con dot cursor. Okay, this is the function that we use it to interact with the database. Right. So this is the initial steps that we had to do it. I'll just a little bit talk on like what if you want to connect with any other database. So it's a very much similar what we do here. Only thing is the module is going to change. Like let's say, for example, you want to connect to the MySQL, right? So in that case, what you will do, we have a module called as a MySQL DB. So this is the module we have, right? Then if you want to connect to the MySQL DB, what we have to do is again similar con is equal to MySQL DB dot connect. And then here you just need to provide some details like your host name of the DB, then username of the DB, password of the DB. Okay, so these are some details that we need to pass. Okay, and then similarly, you just need to create the cursor as well. Okay, cursor object we can create similar way like con dot cursor. That's it. This is what we do differently for connecting to any other database. But once this is done, whatever we are going to do from here on, it's same for all SQL databases. Okay. So what is next we need to do? The next thing that we have to do is just create the table, then insert the record and fit the record and show you. So how do we do it? So let's say first we want to create a table. So nothing different. We just need to do cursor dot execute. Okay. This is the command we have to use. And inside this, we just need to put a SQL command. Okay. So what is the SQL command to create a table? Very simple. So create table, let's say EMP, and we have some field. Let's say for now, just take a couple of fields like EMP ID. That's a number field. It's a SQL query. Okay. It has nothing to do Python, nothing to do with the Python. So EMP ID number, and then let's say I'm specifying it as a EMP name is equal to varchar. That's it. Let's have a two field for now. So this is how you will basically create it. So if I just run it, it will go and just create the table inside this SQLite file DB. Okay, then let's try to insert some record. So how to do it? Very simple. Again, cursor.execute, and inside this you can just simply provide insert command. So what is the insert command? It's again SQL query, insert into EMP. You can just provide the column name that you want to insert like EMP ID and EMP name, and then values, and we have to just pass the values. So let's say EMP ID is 101, and then employee name is a string. So we need to put it in a quote. So let's say I'm just providing as a Rajendra as the name of the employee. Okay, that's it. So this is how you will insert. So let me just add few records here. So I'll just copy paste this command. Okay, now definitely you can do a lot more, like you can provide a primary key, you can keep this field auto incremented, right? So there is a lot of option to do it. Okay, but for now, it's we are not understanding the database, we are understanding how to connect with it. Okay, so that's completely fine. And once you are done with the insertion, we have to do con dot commit. Okay, this will basically finally write into the database. That's it. So if you just run this, this will go ahead. Okay, looks like I have already created a table and I have inserted it. So what I'll do, I'll just re-execute my db1.db, re-execute this and then re-execute this. So now what happened is I just created a separate database file. Otherwise, I could have like written a create command like create table if not exist, and that should have resolved my problem. But that's fine. Okay, that's something as an additional thing we can do, or you can write a exception handling so that if the table is exist, we should be able to proceed without failing our program. Right. So let's say we have seen like how to create a table, how to insert the record. Let's see how we can fetch it. Again, fetching it very simple. What we need to do is again write the query. So we can do cursor dot execute and then write the query. So how do we fetch it from the database? So select star from EMP. So this will return all the records, and then we can do for a record in cursor dot fetch all. So this will basically fetch all record. We have some methods like fetch one as well that will just fetch only one record. Okay, and then you can just print the record. So this record is, if you see, you can see we are able to read all the details or all the records. So this is basically a tuple. Now, once we get the data in a tuple, we already know how to parse the tuple and all, right? So that's something we can do. We already seen how we can parse the different types of data structure that we have in Python, right? So yeah, here, this is how we'll get the data, right? So this is how simply by using a module, we can easily connect with the database. We can create the table, we can insert the record, we can fetch the data. Even if you want, you can just update the data. Now it's all about just identifying the command to or SQL query to update the table column or a table data, right? So yeah, that's how simple it is to interact with any database by using a Python module. I hope everyone understood this concept. If you like the video, please subscribe, share, and like the video. That's it for this video. Thanks everyone.